All right, welcome to Brainpalsclass e-learning platform. From the studio here, I'm going to walk you through on the various functionalities of Brainpass Classroom. I'd like you to follow suit. Of course, once you open the website, remember you must visit the website with an SSL security. It must be HTTPS. That will enable you to record your audio for your lessons. So you type in HTTPS. Maybe I should give you a heads up on that. You have to visit the website like this: https www.brainpalstech.com. And once you get that ready, you should have this platform open. Okay, so as usual, you would want to register. So to register, you click on register, and that's if you don't have an account. Now over here it says you are registering as a trainer or instructor. If you want to register as a learner or a student, you click on I am a student, then to give you this platform. Otherwise, as an instructor or a lecturer, a teacher, a trainer, you click on I am an instructor. You enter your name, let's say Zach. Your full name, please. Your email must be a valid email because an activation link will be sent to your email within a couple of minutes. So I'm going to enter test user, or maybe I should join it, test user at gmail.com, and then the phone number could be anything. I could have a valid phone number, actually your valid phone number. That will enable us to track you, or rather when you call in to get clarified of something or you send an email, sometimes you could request for your phone number to validate the authenticity of your account and some other special information. So I'm going to enter my password for my account, and then I'll select mail and I'll click on start creating class. Kindly complete your account. Now it brings me to this platform where I need to complete my registration. Some of the things I need to put here includes my nationality. I'm doing this from Nigeria, and then I'll enter my state. This is actually your state of origin, and then your highest degree and course of study. You could say course of study at the highest degree is computer science, or you could say something like PhD computer science. Okay, but better just put computer science here. That's for you as a trainer. What's your highest degree? Is it secondary school? Is it an undergraduate? Is it at master's level? The course you had studied at your highest level. And then here actually requires you to enter your college. It could be your university, your monotechnic, your polytechnic, your college of education, or other institutions within where you currently work. It will help students to search for you when they are logged in. So I could just choose any of these. I think I should just select the first one here, Federal Kogi State University, Aingba. And then my highest qualification will be a PhD. Next, I'm supposed to fill in my Twitter, my WhatsApp account, my Instagram, my Facebook username, and my phone number, and then a password. You could ignore this if you don't have it, but it's quite important you fill them. So you update your account when you're done. It tells you account was modified. That's the basis for registration. However, if you are a student, the process is almost similar. You have to supply your information and then you get registered. Now over here it says package plan bronze and status is active. By default, every new registration for an instructor, a lecturer, a teacher gets a package plan of bronze, and then the status is also set active. Bronze, however, has limitations. For instance, I'm going to log out. If you go to package plans or the subscription, you find out that the basic starter pack, which is bronze, is actually free. Okay, number of course or subject you can register is 1. You can add up to 3 lessons. You can do online radio for up to 15 minutes. You can't do online video. You can't post assessment. You cannot, your profile will not be visible. and there's no cost attached to it. You would want to take out your time to also view packages like premium and the platinum package. Okay, so once you're registered as a trainer or an instructor, a lecturer, a teacher, as the case would be, you need to come over to this place. Okay, you know what? I think I should reload this page and give you an information. It says to ensure maximum performance of all functionalities of Brainpalsclass e-learning on Android or iOS, kindly use Chrome, a Google Chrome browser. That's very, very important. It works best on Chrome. That's if you're on a mobile platform. But if you are using your laptop, you can use any browser, especially Mozilla Firefox, Chrome, Safari. Now I have to close out this, and I'll have to log in. Create an account. Okay, test user, and then my password will be this. Once you're verified, it should open up the page. It gives you number of classes, 0, your name, your user ID, which is also very, very important. I spoke last time about the package plan, the account status, and every other information that you should see. Total class is set active, total lesson is set active. Now these ones are going to pop up as soon as you start creating classes. Okay, so let's go straight to one of the first thing you would want to do. The other time we logged in after registration, after registration we moved directly to the edit account page. This is where it is exactly here. Okay, so if you choose to change anything about your account, you can easily come here, and if you choose to change your password, you can click here and change your password, then click on change password here. But for now, one of the first thing you would want to do is to create a class. Now what exactly is a class? A class is like a subject, it's like a course. In a class you have series of lessons. So the first thing you would want to do is to create a class. So it says here course code or subject. I may want to do something like Edu 101, and the title may be Introduction to Education. The course unit may be 4. Now this is not compulsory. If you are in a secondary school, you may not want to supply this information. The department will probably be for let's say social studies education. Then the level will be for 100L, which means 100 level, or you could say 200L, which means 200 level. Then if you're using it for secondary school, you could say JSS1 or JSS2. In my case, I would say 100 level. Then I'll create a class. Class created. Select manage class to add lessons, files, audios, and others. Now, once you've successfully created a class, you will need to manage that class. When you click on manage class, you'll be presented with this information that shows you information about the class you've just created. It's Edu 101. This is the class code. Very, very important. With this, student can search for this specific class, the unit, the level it's meant for, the department, and then chat status. The chat status signifies if student could have a conversation with you on the platform or not, the date it was created. Now the class is currently active. You can click on edit to edit the class information. For instance, you may want to change the unit to 3 and then allow chat, so you turn it to on. That way student could chat with you as regards this class. So I'll modify the class. Now it says chat status is on, and the unit is now 3. That's what about the edit. And the manage class allows you to add lessons to the class and modify the lessons. Now if you had numerous classes created, you're going to see all of them lined up here. On a smaller screen, if you're on a mobile device, you should see something like this, quite different from what you will see on a bigger screen, but it all boils down to the same thing. Okay, it's still the same information that are presented. Again, your package plan is bronze and your status is active. Okay, so let's talk about how to add lessons to a class. A class comprises of series of lessons. Okay, here we are talking about name of the class is The class code is edu101, and of course you click on edit, you will see the name of the class, the class title or course title, introduction to education. So we may want to add lessons to that class. You click on manage class. This will collect the class details to be specific and give you information about the class. Currently it said there are no lessons, no data available in the table, and this is actually where you can chat. Every time you click on manage class, you can chat up with student on the online at that moment. So I could send like hi, and then send it. It goes directly here. Then I could get feedback from student that will begin to have a conversation online. But that's not really my focus now. I want to talk about how you can add lessons. Again, on a smaller screen, you see something like this, very similar. So to add lessons to a class, you click on add lesson. The title of the lesson, remember, I think the course was Edu 101, Introduction to Education. So I would say education, maybe education is pattern. If there's a link, if you have a website where they could go and read up, or you have a link you want them to go and get special information about the course, you could enter it here. For now, I don't have any, so now I need to upload my lesson notes. This is not compulsory, but the lesson note can be a maximum of 2 megabytes, and we usually recommend PDF or an image file so that students will not be able to edit it. So I have to browse for a PDF file. I think I have this file, and then a description, introduction, or special information about the class. Something like this lesson is intended to teach you the very history of education in Spartan, and I don't know if that's right, and its implication to our country. Attendance. Do you wish to take attendance for this class? If you are serious about taking attendance, or you intend to take attendance, you just click I am taking attendance. That way, when students get to view the lessons, they will have a provision where they can click to take attendance. But if you don't intend to take attendance, you can just choose I'm not taking attendance. But for now, I am interested in taking attendance. And how long will this attendance be open? Now, I'm producing this class, I'm doing this lesson now, and how long do I want the attendance to be open? So I click on this. It gives me the date, which is today's date, 25th. So I say, okay, I want it to be open up to 27th. That's about in 2 days time. So I'll post the class. Lesson uploaded. Now that's information about the lesson. You can add as many lessons as possible depending on your package plan. Again, on a small screen, this will show like this. Okay, still very much the same. You see numerous lessons you have created lining up themselves down, but on a large screen you should see something like this. Okay, so we are looking at adding files or content to a class. Presently over here it says no audio or video. That means there is no record, no audio recording, and no video file attached. For now, in Brainpalsclass, you can only add an audio recording. We are working seriously to see how you can add other things like video, and record your screen, which is very important for, especially for calculation related courses. So to add an audio recording, you click on this button here. Over here it says upload video, audio, or a file. So you click here, it gives you this prompt. You can choose to add a YouTube link or record an audio. So for me, I'm going to be recording an audio, so I select record audio. It prepares the audio device ready. Now understand, if you are using your system, you should connect an external headset with a recorder with a microphone to your system, except of course your system has an inbuilt microphone, which my system does not. So currently I'm using a microphone attached to the system. So you click on start recorder. The recording start almost immediately, and you can start recording your class. So let me do a recording of my lesson titled Education in Spartan. Now Spartan is a very great. They are very great people. They have a lot of stories when it comes to education. One of their belief in education is that everyone must be taught to fight, especially the male. The male are taught to fight, to steal, and to lie. They are taught to handle a sword from the very early age. Okay, while the women are told to learn from their mother, as the case would be. So education in Spartan is a very brutal one, and many countries have incorporated it into their educational system. And I think Nigeria also have a link to that kind of education, where we see some form of brutality in learning and forced learning, so to say. So I just want my class to be a minute, and I'm done. I'll click on either to pause the class if I have some other things to add to it, then resume it later. But for now, I'm going to have to stop. So once you are done with that, you can play it back and see if it suits what you want. Okay, if it doesn't suit what you want, you can just start another recorder, and this one will be discarded. Okay, and of course you can choose to download it. On a smaller screen you have something like this. You can choose to download it, or you can choose to upload it to the server. So you click on upload, it gives you uploading, and then you see here upload was successful. Then you can go back. Okay, so we are back here. Now you can see that we do have this audio icon here, showing us that we've actually added an audio file. Okay, you can click here to play it. It will pop up and then begin to play. You can equally play it here too, and then this will be available to the students or the learners when they access this lesson. Now you cannot add more than one audio recording to a specific lesson. If you want to add another audio lesson, you will have to remove this one, so it's more like a replacement. Or better still, if you have something you want to add, you should create another lesson, maybe something like Education in Spartan 2, and then you can add. But to replace this lesson, you have to click on this icon here to delete this lesson before you can now click this other one to add another lesson. Now what do we have here? We have view attendance. Remember, this class is open for attendance, so you can easily click on view attendance here, and students who have actually taken attendance for this course will be shown here. Their name, their registration ID, the date they took the attendance will be shown here. For now, this is just the basic information about the lesson. This is not no student have actually taken attendance in this course. This is just the basic information about the lesson, which you can export to CSV, you can export to PDF, or decide to print depending on your need. And finally, I want to talk a little bit about this guy here, share. Now this will only be available on the mobile platform. Let's say you have created this lesson, you want to make it, you want to give the awareness to your students. You can just click on share, and then it will be shared on their WhatsApp page. To be shared on their WhatsApp page. That way they will have all information they need to log in. The lesson ID, if there's an attendance or not, and some other things applicable will be shown once you share it on a mobile device. So that's all about adding a content to your lesson, and of course sharing your lesson and viewing attendance. Okay, so let's talk about adding assessment, which would be in form of a quiz, a test, or even an exam. So you click on assessment, and then you start with create an assessment. The course for which we intend to create an assessment, we have just this course. How many questions will student answer? Let's say I wanted to answer 2 questions. And how long do you want them to take the assessment? That is the duration for the assessment. It should be in seconds. For instance, 120 will mean 2 minutes. So in my own case, I'll type in 60, which is equivalent to a minute. It means they have about 30 seconds per question. Then I'll create the assessment. So once the assessment is loaded up, you should see something like this. Give you information about the assessment, like the course, number of questions to answer to, the time, the start if it's still open or closed, the date was created, when it will be closing. It's not stated now. So one of the first thing you need to do is to come over to this place and click on edit. You can now choose to enter when the assessment will close. By default, you should be at least a minimum of 24 hours before the assessment will be closed. So that's why we have 26th, even though today's date is 25th. So I'm going to select 27th. to allow students who may not have access to internet at that time to take the assessment. Of course, that's why we said Brainpalsclass is built for emerging economies, is built for emerging world. Should students see scores after assessment, this is based on you. You can decide to make them see scores after assessment or to deny them access to it. In my own case, I would I would deny them access to seeing their scores. Score for every correctly answered question. This will help the app to calculate the scores per student. So I will enter here and say, okay, I want it to be 2. So for every correctly answered question, they get 1 times 2. Okay, so if you put 5 here, for every correctly answered question will be 5. But now for every correctly answered question, it's going to be 2. So you modify your assessment. Assessment information modify, so you select OK. So over here you can see that show scores after assessment has changed to no. Assessment closes this day, and of course we are yet to fill up this information. Now we have this next button, which is very, very important, where you load up the questions. So you click on this, you'll be taken to this tab where you'll be required to enter the questions. Now there are 2 methods of answering the questions. Either you want to do it bulk upload using a CSV file, or you want to upload manually by typing in the question. So let's give a try to this. You can type in the questions, actually 3 questions per sheet, and every time you click on submit questions, another sheet is loaded up. Exactly. So for now I'm going to type in a question like, what is education? Education is life. No 2 options should be the same. They should show some a good level of difference, so that the software will not knock you off. Because the way it's programmed, once you have 2 options being the same, it will look as if they are repeated, and eventually they may not be inserted into the database. So we have education is life and life, and then I could copy this again and drop this here, life and life and life, and then my option D will just be none. And of course my answer is A. I can have the second question manually and the third question manually, and then each time I submit the questions, 3 of the same thing will come up again for me to add more questions. For now, I just want to add 1 question manually, so I'll click on submit. Duplicate question found and discarded. That's because I've loaded some questions before. Okay, so I need to enter this again, something like, what is your name? What is your name? I could say John, Paul, Caleb, tomato, and the right answer will be option A. So I'll just select option A, and then I'll click on submit questions. Questions loaded successfully for only 1 question. So in this case I've only submitted a question, but I think the easiest way to go about this is to load your bulk questions using CSV. So you click on it, you get this browse CSV. Here is how the CSV looks like, with 7 columns: serial number, question, option A, option B, option C, option D, and answer. It should be like this. Then serial number 1, 2, 3. In my own case I just have 3 questions. Then the questions could be something like this, okay, but make sure it's 7 columns. The answer portion should carry which of the options happens to be the correct answer. In this case B, which means this is the answer, A means that is the answer, and C means them is the answer. So once you are done with entering it in Excel, you click on file, and then you select this, save as. You choose a location you want to save it, and then you come over here and select comma delimited CSV. If it's not comma delimited, it will not work. Make sure it's in CSV format. I can't stress that hard enough. Click on CSV and then give it a title and save. You get this. I already have it here, that's why. And then eventually you come up to this place, just say yes to the prompt, and sometimes there may be another prompt. So once you are done, you go back to the app and then browse the file that you intend to use. I think I have it on my desktop, and I have it on Brainpals. Brainpalsclass, then questions book, then I will upload. Bulk question successfully uploaded. So as it were, I just uploaded 3 questions plus the one I manually typed in. I think that's the first one here. What is your name? I have it here. Now, so the questions are currently showing, the ones I've uploaded. I can choose to edit a question, like change maybe the option, or prevent this question from showing for being made available to students, those who will be assessed, by setting it to hide, or I can decide to delete a question. That's the basic you can do here. Okay, so once you are done with adding up your question, you may want to go back to that assessment again, the details about the assessment over here again. So we are done with this step of loading up questions. At any time, you can click on here and either manually add again or bulk, use the bulk method to add questions. So we go back, and then the next step you need to take is to upload learners to assess the student. Learners to be assessed, sorry. Brainpalsclass e-learning platform does not allow every student to be assessed. You, as the course lecturer or the subject teacher, determine the list of students to be assessed. So usually before, while you are preparing the assessment, you must have equally also prepared, or you should also prepare the list of students to be assessed. In this case, this is how the exam template looks like. Serial number, the registration ID, and registration name ID, and this should be the registration name or the student name. That's the basic. Also in Excel, okay. So you have serial number, reg ID, and the name. And as usual, I'm going to save it again on CSV. Again, select your CSV and then save. I'm having every before, so I'm making a duplicate. Then I'll select yes. So it is saved. Now when you come over here, you can choose to use the manual method like I showed you earlier on when it has to do with the question. So you click on this, you enter the student's name, okay, and the ID. You have, in this case, you have 6. Every time you submit a list, another 6 comes up. So but I intend to use the bulk learners list. So I'm going to have to select and use this, and then click on the upload. Duplicate found. For some of the names, it looks as if I already have them before. So maybe I need to go change them. Instead of ED, I have to change it to, let's say, EC, and then I will have it to override the whole of this, and then save it. Okay, so once that is done, I can come over here, click on bulk, browse CSV, student list, and then upload. This upload was successful for 3 students, so I have them here. These are the people I want to these are the people that are eligible to be assessed using this platform. So at any point I can choose to edit, I can equally choose to delete. Okay, now if you no longer want a student to be assessed, you can say, okay, cannot take assessment. That way that student will not be allowed to take the assessment. But if you are still, it's still okay for the student to take the assessment, you can leave it as approved. And then if you want to delete the entire student list, you can click on delete all. If you want to delete a single one, you can click on delete. Alright, so the concluding part of adding assessment, I've already walked you through on uploading learners to be assessed. Over here, the third button here said view assess list. When you click on this button, you will be shown the list of students who have actually taken this assessment. For now, no one has taken the assessment, so that's why it's empty. So you have to go back again. The last one here is to delete this assessment. Now, please take note, each time you delete an assessment, every information about the assessment will be lost. That includes those who have been assessed, the learners who are to be assessed, the questions you have entered, every information about the assessment will be lost. So use it with caution. Now, once you are done entering all information, you can preview to see how it will look like when a student take the assessment. So you click on preview. This is how it will look like. It takes just 60 seconds, so it's already counting down. They have to attempt 2 questions. You can say they, me, and then they submit the questions. Okay, so that's exactly what happens. It goes nowhere basically because they are not allowed to see the question. If they were to see the answers, sorry, their scores, if they were allowed to see their scores, for instance, if I click on this, Student allowed to see scores. Should students see scores after assessment? Yes. And then I modify this. When I click on the preview and I choose my first answer, choose the second one, and then I click on submit, this will be shown to the student like it is now. Total questions, total correctly answered 2, total wrong answers 0, total marks 2. So that's exactly what they're going to see. So I have to go back, and I don't want them to see their scores after being assessed. I have to turn this again to no and modify this. Okay. So once you're done with that, you may want to share it on WhatsApp. Again, on the mobile platform, it will look like this. You may have to share it on, excuse me, you may have to share it on the mobile platform. That way they will have the assessment code. You could equally make this code available to them, to the learners, which they will use to enter the assessment zone and be assessed, or share it with them. Once it is shared, they will have it on their WhatsApp, and then be able to just click on the link, log in, and then take the assessment right away if they are among the learners to be assessed. All right. I want to talk about the subscription pack. So right away, I have to click on subscription and then click on. For now, if you click on subscriptions, by default, once you register, you are automatically placed on the bronze package. Okay, and there's no details to when it will expire, because it will never expire on the bronze package. But you are limited with this. There's a whole lot you may want to do. Like the bronze package restrict you to only creation of one class and about 3 lessons. But if you want higher packages like the premium or the platinum, you click on subscription, subscribe. You'll be presented with this interface. You're already here, so you can no longer subscribe for this class. It said it's the default subscription pack, but you may want to subscribe for either the premium, which is recommended, or the platinum, which is an exclusive pack. So what is available to you in the premium pack? Number of courses subject you can register is up to 4. You can register up to 100 lessons. Online video recording is yes. You can do it up to 30 minutes against 15 minutes in the basic or bronze pack. The online video recording, no. Online video duration, no. And the rest of this information. And the cost per month is 2,500. But the more you buy, the lesser the price. So the cost per 3 months is 7,000 naira. So let's say I want to go for this pack. Click on subscribe today. It brings me here, and then I'll have to choose the number of months I want to subscribe for, say 3 months, and then I click on continue. It tells me okay, 3 months is 7,000 naira, and the payment method I intend to use. There are 3 methods you can use. You can decide to use online credit card, okay, in which you'll have to pay online. This will have an instant activation. Once the payment is finalized, your account will be upgraded, and your subscription pack will be active instantly. But you can do a bank transfer, in which you have to make a payment to this account using this number here as your transaction code, or your depositor's name. Here you use this number here, or your account email. Then you click on finalize your account. And of course, if you are using the direct bank deposit, you can also do the same using that same code, and then you finalize your order. But in whatever method you decide to use, once you have done this and the payment have been made, once we get the once this is received as a depositor's name, your account will be activated instantly, and your package will be upgraded instantly. So that's all about the subscription pack.